What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. It is Tuesday, December 8th. I'm Osiris. This is Chewy.
Saudi.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing well.
We were my wife and I before before the stream, we were hanging out and we were laughing. I don't know if do you remember those Dr. Pepper 10 commercials where they're like, "It's not for women." These Dr. Pepper 10 commercials, they were like, "It's the manliest low-calorie soda ever. It's not for women."
Ad campaigns that couldn't happen today.
Yeah. That campaign that's some perfect R aged like milk things. That campaign was so bad. Like, it's like this guy, he's like, "I'm in an action movie. You can take your romantic comedies and leave." It's like, who, like, that's all. Like, guys, just look up, if you want to laugh at how bad it is, just look up Dr. Pepper 10, "It's not for women." And you'll see the dumbest commercial.
There's a bunch of ad campaigns like that. Like, you think back to the old, like, the Hardee's commercials.
Oh yeah,
where it was like the like girls in bikinis on like eating a giant hamburger.
eating a hamburger.
Yeah, like things that could happen in the mid 2000s that can't happen today.
That absolutely cannot happen today. So that was a good laugh that we had. Plus, I still always talk about the dumbest commercial of all time, which I can never find it, but it's an Ore-Ida fries commercial where they talk about, like, family's important. We like to go camping in our backyard because family's important, and now more than ever, and nothing says family like Ore-Ida fries.
Like, it's like, what?
How does dude, what the fuck?
Doesn't really make sense, but okay, hey, Ore-Ida.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, Ali, you know what? I remembered though, so they won, right?
True.
I remember the commercial. I've never had Ore-Ida fries, but I remembered. So, but no, it's been a fun week. I got to build my lovely wife a keyboard this past weekend, and despite all my efforts of screwing it up, I got through it. Making lots of mistakes. But like we talked about, and I talked about on Saturday, it's important for people to see the mistakes, right? It's important to show someone who's built boards before make mistakes, because we all make mistakes. Not everybody's perfect. Looking at you, Apiary. Remember that saran wrap? I do. Never gonna let you live that one down.
that was good. That was fun.
No, I built it in the wrong. Like, I didn't think about the 67 blocker, the 65% blocker for the arrow keys. I didn't think about it. So whenever I'm like, "Oh, cool, I'm done. Time to put the top on." And I was like, bleh. I was like, shit.
Yeah, I was watching. I didn't get a chance to see it because I went to my parents' house for dinner. I left early before you were done, and I saw that you were trying to put like a 7U, and I was like, that's not gonna work there, bud. You got the blocker, so it's
Well, you can on the PCB.
Yeah.
But with the block, and there's a way to do it with the blocker we discovered, but the plate doesn't allow for it.
Yeah.
And so, I was talking with, I talked to SM, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I should change that just in case, because it doesn't affect any of the switches. It's a very small little just bloop, like, and then you're good." And it worked out in the end. So, it's important to have some 6.25. If you're a 7U user only, which I know I am, a lot of people are. If you're a 7U user only, it is important to have a few spares of both, especially if you're building boards a lot. Just have some spares. Never a bad idea.
Melee Dre, what are the best linear switches for your first build? Honestly, right now, I mean, there's a ton of linear switches that are great. You can't go wrong with anything from JWK, whether it's H1s, MOVs, alpacas, all of the different variants that they have of those, and then creams. Creams are still great.
Do you have my one clarifying question? excuse you. Melee Dre is, are you planning on lubing? Because if you're not, if you're like 100% beginner, I know you, Osiris, were pleased with the silk switches.
Yes, the silk from Novel Key switches, they have them in 3 different weights. Great option. Red, yellow, black. I have some of the blacks in my one of my OSA builds. I've got 2 builds, a linear and a tactile, and they're great. You don't have to do anything. They're pre-lubed 205 grade 0. Saves you a ton of time. So, definitely recommend it.
So there it is. I'm on linear week this week because my boy that works at linear, and then I got my crowns. Let's hop in.
Yeah,
Let's
you wanna
hop into a quick show off. I'll show off what's on my desk first. Never lubed the switch, but I wouldn't be against it. Well, yeah, honestly, if you can find some JWKs or creams, honestly, if you're going first, I would go creams if you're lubing, because then you can just go lube really heavy on the creams because they can take it. JWKs, you do need to be a little bit more delicate with. But real quick, my crown, GMK camping. Camping is not going to live forever on this. This is waiting for Moto Light. Although Perestroika would look pretty sick on this. They'll probably, if whenever that comes in, I'll probably put that on here for a couple weeks. But yeah, 98 gram creams, heavily lubed, 205 grade 0, broken in nicely. So yeah, this board is super fucking heavy, but I love using it. And then I didn't personally get any. Well, I got springs. Bunch of us down here in Dallas ordered. Oh God, 1,500 springs,
a lot of springs.
something like that. So I ordered a bunch of 74 gram, as those are my favorite for tactile builds. And I'm gonna throw those in those glorious pandas. And see how they stack up. And then I know Cyrus ordered some, and got just so many, a bunch of other. I just posted. I was like, Black Friday, they're half off. Like, absolutely. So, and then the other thing my wife got is we got Analog Dreams, which is, I'm stealing her keyboard temporarily. This set is beautiful.
Dude, it
This
looks so
set
good.
is, it's, I like, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, they did such a good job with these, because it's reminiscent. It's obviously very reminiscent of Hyperfuse with the purple on teal. But I'm actually curious the next time we see each other in person, as we do try and limit uh, our meetings. I'm curious to see how close they are, because I don't have a Hyperfuse key with me, but I imagine they'd be pretty close. The purple on here is lighter. It's a lighter purple. I can kind of try and show it off. It definitely has a lighter purple to it, but all in all, I mean, this set looks fantastic. I was able to get it on Black Friday, or we were able to get. I mean, it's not easy for me, but it looks great. The colors came out really, really well, and it even matched the bottom of the Bower.
I was about to say, it looks like it matches pretty well. Is that like pretty almost spot on?
Yeah, it's like really freaking close. So
Dude, that's awesome, because I know your wife was looking at possibly getting it Cerakoted.
yeah,
Just change the color.
I think we're gonna still Cerakote the top, but now the bottom we might just leave as
Might just
is.
leave as
So I need to get some gaskets though, because they're gonna have to pull the gaskets up, and I don't have any spares.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And Melee Dre, you can get, if you're wanting the pre-lube JWK switches, they do have them in stock over at Novel Keys, the Silk series switches. They have the yellows and the blacks. They're out of stock of the reds, but they're they have the yellows and the reds. And then, of course, if you're looking to get some that are unlubed and do it yourself, head on over to candykeys.com/Mechs on deck. They have mauves and I think maybe still lilac linears. Um, out
I'd
there.
imagine so. It says, where can you buy the gaskets? I don't personally know. It's like you can't go on Dixie, although I do think Dixie, if you're listening, people, if you're listening, um, it wouldn't be like like that, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a like rescue kit, right? Couple screws and a couple gaskets. They are buying in bulk. Like there's as someone who's run a much smaller group buy, I'm still having to buy in bulk a lot of these things. So, it would be nice to see with some of these, vendors, maybe like Cannon Keys or Smith and Rune, Cannon Keys, Dixie with the Bauer, kind of these rescue kits because screws get lost, gaskets get messed up. If you want to go get it Cerakoted, they're going to have to take those gaskets off. And you don't want to have to use like a messed up gasket. So that'd be a nice touch. I would love to see that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then Frozen Forever, that was GMK Analog Dreams that Chewy was showing off on his wife's Bauer. And then as far as what is on my desk, I went back. I flipped. I've been using the Bauer at home and the iron at work. And today I flipped them. So I've got iron 165 with GMK 9s, which is very shined up.
Lots of love.
So as you can see, I used it to play video games for quite some time because the WASD is like completely shined. But yeah,
Dummy shine.
dude, I love this board, man. It's got Zycos in it. It's got my Rookie of the Year Observer from Lividity caps. But yeah, I love this thing, man. It looks great. Here's a little butt shot. Little,
It's
little
so
ass action.
crazy how that Rookie of the Year cap matches that board so well.
Dude, it looks so good.
Like it's like none of those colors really have anything to do with the board, and yet it somehow works so well on that board. And Dutch Masters. So Dutch Master says, I feel like I've been enjoying Top Mount over Gasket. I mean, if you like it, like don't just because a lot of people say Gasket's better doesn't mean Gasket's better, right? Like on typing feel, I prefer my Baka and my Crown over the Key Colt. The Key Colt just sounds really, really good. It still feels great, but just because it's a gasket doesn't immediately go, oh, it's going to be better, because it's all preference, right? There's a reason there's 8 different mounting options, because just because it's good for some people doesn't mean it's good for others.
Yeah, I think it just all depends on what you like, and what you like changes over time, right? Like you may like super stiff boards right now. I know Chewy has been a fan of stiff plates and stiff boards for a while now, but I even float back and forth. Some days I'm like really feeling palm. I want a little bit of flex to it. I use my Sirius or my Bauer, and then if I want something a little bit stiffer, go for my iron. Chewy does bottom out.
Oh yeah, baby. 98-gram bottom out. There's a reason these fingers are sausage fingers.
Dude, listen, y'all need to hear Chewy on his laptop.
Oh God.
Dude, that's space bar. It's like pa pa pa.
I'm gonna break my laptop keyboard just typing on it. Got anything spicy? Not really. I mean, so we'll quick shout out to our sponsors before we kind of get into it. Switchmod.net/Mechs on deck, 4% off of your order. And we've got GMK Muted 2 running very soon. In January, Dixie Mech, you can go to mechsondeck.dixiemech.com. We will talk about 8008-2 or 80,082, whichever one you want to call it. Project Keyboards. I know they've got is it GMK Stealth, I think is the name of it. That will be running soon, so kind of keep the ear to the ground on that. We'll give you more information as information comes. And then canonkeys.com/mechs on deck for GMK Pink on Navy. Should be a fun looking set. So we've had some interesting we've had a couple interesting things happen with a few GMK sets. We've talked a lot about Infinity recently. So Infinity, I'm gonna give you the pass today.
It's taking a back seat.
We're taking a back seat. Finicky, you're not the one that's really screwed up. GMK, so they're kind of back in the hot seat for something that let's preface this, right? So GMK is very known for fixing problems. The current problem at hand, if you guys have not seen, is on Metaverse 2 and on Burgundy. We've seen a few different examples of due to some technical issues on our side, not issues, but for later reasons, we can't show them on stream at the moment. But those are the pictures. Um, we're having some different textures on the keycaps. So you can sort of see it on the metaverse kits, but it's very apparent on the I think the second picture. Aloha, ukulele dad. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, on that, if you're looking at that top or that row 2, the RTYU, it's pre-shined.
It is. It's pre-shined. Also, quick shout outs GMK. You had a nice run. It had been many weeks in a row where there were issues, and
8
then
sets with no issues.
now
Ursa came in clean as a whistle.
yeah, a couple months of no issues. So hey, props to you. And unfortunately, this has happened. I don't know how something like this happens. Um, I it's only the Q row. It's only that row apparently from what I have read and seen. It's not an issue that is plagued the entire set. So it's just that one row. Um, I don't know. We were talking about it before, and I was like, honestly, from the way that GMK takes pictures, I'd prefer if all the keys looked like that because it sometimes when you're taking pictures, of a set, GMK pictures, GMK photos weird because with the kind of like grainy texture on the top of the keycaps, it catches light funky. Um, but yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
it's yeah. Well, so the identifying issue is that they are different, right? There's
Right.
two different textures. It is not consistent. It would, it should be fixed. It'll get fixed. I mean, we've already heard from Switch Mod that hey, we're going to get these sets as fast out as possible so that you can open them up, inspect them, and if they are how somewhat messed up or whatever, they can get the fix kits going ASAP. So good to hear. Good on Krellbit for making sure that things are kind of moving along in that aspect. And we know GMK is going to do these fixes. But yes, I wouldn't mind them if they were smooth, because here's the other thing. If you're wanting to take a really good picture, oftentimes, you're wanting to have your aperture, if it's for the most part in like a day, unless you're like outside, we're not mechanists. We don't bury our keyboards in snow and take pictures of them. But oftentimes we take them inside, so you can't have your aperture super duper low to where you're like unable to get any light in there. But that's how you want to get the whole keyboard in focus, because if you start taking pictures, especially those angle shots, you'll start losing a lot of focus across the board. But what's goofy, what happens with a brand new set, and I had this happen, I recently posted the picture of GMK Ursa, is some of the caps that are really in focus look very textured, and then the rest are all smooth. And so it looks goofy. I'm like, this is a brand new set. I've typed on this board for like a week. It shouldn't look that goofy. So it needs to be consistent. And honestly, yeah, I wouldn't mind smooth. I like smooth. SA, that's a nice, fun little, it's nice and smooth. It has that, like, I love, like, camping is worn to hell. And I'm sure your Hyperfuse is that way too, where it's like,
Yeah, for sure.
it's buttery smooth.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's funny because I feel like caps get this way anyway, right? Like over time with shine, people get worried about shine. They don't want shine. And I honestly enjoy the texture, the way it feels when you first get a brand new GMK set. It feels nice. Um, but then once it's like loved and used and it's nice and shiny, you kind of it feels like your fingers almost just kind of like suck into the keys. Like they stay more put than they
Mm.
did when it was brand new. Um, it's nice and smooth versus the rough texture of a brand new set. But yeah, I really just want to know how something like this happens. That's my
Yeah.
biggest thing.
It's got to be something with that side. Maybe the I imagine they're. I don't know how caps are made. I'll 100% disclosure. I haven't looked it up. I imagine they are made in rows, and because this row is a particular profile, it's row two. I imagine that these rows are all made at the same time, and maybe it's like part of it's messed up to where like the plastic's not getting to it all the way or whatever. I don't know how they. I'm not a plastic expert, so I'm if someone was a plastic expert and would care to share their 2 cents on how something like this would be even done. I don't. I like the idea of as Dee Decline said, someone was just eating pizza while doing it. So is it that way on all sets? We don't know. I don't know a lot of people that bought Burgundy. Burgundy, it did fine, but it didn't do as well as a lot of other round. Well, Burgundy was actually round three from Dixie. It didn't do as well as I think was anticipated. But January is also a tough month, right? It's you're coming off the holidays. You're probably in that kind of like got to save, and you haven't gotten most people have not gotten any tax returns yet. So January is a tough month to sell in.
Yeah. Pylon 7 brings up an interesting point. Maybe they got some new molds that they applied the wrong texture to the molds. I don't know if it's necessarily that, but I wonder because we talked a couple months ago about how they were getting all these new machines. I wonder if maybe these were made in a new machine because like that would kind of make sense to maximize production time if they had like a machine pumping out every row.
Mm-hmm.
That made sense. And then like one machine is messed up because I would imagine that because of the way that we know there's like sorting time and stuff like that, uh, they probably manufacture all the caps and then they sort them all out, build the base kits, and ship them. You know, um, I wonder if this was just like one of the new machines just like messed up, and that's why because it's one of those things. It's not a from what I understand, it's not a consistent like cap. Like it's not a
Yeah.
it's not always the RTYU cap like we saw in the metaverse picture. It's the O cap that has an issue, but it is consistently that second row. So I don't know. We'll see. GMK will fix it. That's the other thing is like
Yeah.
it may take a while, like how with 9009 in the spacebar issue, and other sets in the spacebar issue. They ended up doing Google Forms where you could submit, hey, I've got, this is a picture of my set. These caps are messed up. I'd like replacement, and then they will replace them for you, and they'll send them out to the vendor or to you directly. I don't know exactly how that works, but GMK definitely fixes it. But
Yeah, I mean, I hope my hope is that they don't just send all these to the vendors because that means the vendor is going to take a hit. You don't want to see. I imagine it. I mean, it shouldn't. In reality, GMK should be shipping this, or they should at least like, probably in the easiest way they ship them all to. They ship them all to SwitchMod, then SwitchMod just invoices them for all the shipping later. But that's still, I mean, that's just a hassle, right? You don't want to see that. Grelbitz had a tough year with GMK. If you guys don't remember, Alter shipped the wrong colors, not like they were the correct colors in the wrong orientation. So that was fun for him. So props to Grelbit for pushing on through that and dealing with it. So, and I mean, you're doing your best, right? It's just because it's not; these aren't unusable caps. You're not gonna damage your keyboard using this. Um, the biggest complaint you could have maybe is like, oh, well, it's not gonna shine as evenly. I'm like, well, technically, might not shine
true.
as evenly, but you just you just use the other, or you just sit there and shine them yourself. You got 4 keys, just put them on macro pad and go to work, eat some greasy pizza, as DD says.
Um,
So, but yeah, I'm not worried about this.
oh, yeah. I mean, we were talking before, and I was like, honestly, I feel like I would get that set. I'd look down and be like, oh, those are different. Okay. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm just weird. I feel like I wouldn't get that upset about it. Like I would. I would probably go through the process of trying to get them corrected, but it's not
Yeah.
gonna keep me from enjoying the set and liking these sets. And I must say, Burgundy does look very good. I like Burgundy. Also, Metaverse is one of my favorite sets, so should be getting that soon, hopefully. I
Heck yeah.
really am excited to get Metaverse.
Yeah, the legends do seem to kind of start to tilt to the left a little bit. We don't know if those just the molds are getting old. Maybe they need to remake them.
It could also
I
just
mean,
be this picture too.
yeah, but GMK is not perfect, right?
Right.
GMK, it's held as the perfect standard, but it's not perfect. It's not. There is no perfect key set. I think there's no perfect profile because once again, it's all preference, and then on top of that, GMK is good, but they're not. It's not perfect. There are flaws, right? There are things that GMK does on every single set that just you're not able to enjoy. I forgot what legend it is that I know Langlandia feels very strongly. I think it's the carrot and the at sign where it's like kind of goofy, or he just doesn't like those. But if you don't like them, then don't get GMK. That's kind of the thing, right? You have other options. You can go to Infinity. You can get a different PBT set. You can go if you want something out of your profile. SA is another. Signature Plastics does make very good keycaps as well. They've always been kind of viewed as equal with GMK, and now they're equal on wait times. So
Yeah.
GMK might even have the upper hand on going even longer.
Which is funny because I don't know, I think there was a narrative, and I think we were even and when we first started Mechs on Deck, kind of creating the narrative that like GMK was the best and it was really good, and I don't think we ever said that it was perfect. I don't recall ever saying that, but um it's it's always had issues, you know. Going back
Mhm.
looking at space bars, they've always been slightly warped, but not to the point where like EPBT space bars were like
A
truly warped.
rocking chair.
Yeah. And like not even just space bars, like shift keys would be like any
Unusably warped because they
yeah.
would damn it. You wouldn't be able to put them in the stabilizers correct.
Dude, and not to mention like the first couple sets of EPBT sets, like that black on white set where the legends were just kind of like literally all over the place.
Yeah.
Like people talking about alignment of, and weird things that GMK does with their molds. Like the pad printing for EPBT when they first started was like awful.
It took some time.
Yeah, it
it
took
took
some time.
it took some effort. And we're waiting, right? We're waiting for that next key set, that next keycap. You know, we talk a lot. Let's bring Infinity up to the front seat now. We talk a lot of crap about Infinity. Osiris and I want Infinity to be a good thing. We want that to be a successful key set because that just is more options, right? And it's a little bit cheaper. And it would be great if Infinity was pumping out great key sets with minimal to no problems and correct colors. So I want Infinity to do really well. It saves my wallet. It allows more designs and designers. So I don't want to. I don't want y'all to think that like we are super against Infinity to be successful. We just want Infinity to get better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think if you go back and watch our VOD when Infinity first started, um, we were super stoked. Like a lesser expensive equivalent that can give the same experience that you can get from an SP or a GMK. Because even at that time, like EPBT wasn't doing a lot of like custom sets; they were really just running their own things. Um, it was an awesome opportunity. There was a ton of ICs coming out regularly, and JTK was gone. So all these ICs could either go GMK, SA, no one really cares about still. People were shifting to CAT, and it's like, well, I want cherry profile, but GMK takes forever. And oh, Infinity's here. So um, yeah, I mean, if Infinity can get the ball rolling and figure it out, then that would be awesome. I would be so happy to have an alternative to GMK that is a custom experience, like with the box and everything. Like it's just a cool experience, but they got to get their shit together.
Yeah, and so Nathan Alphaman brings up a good point, which is something want to touch on. He says just in compare Infinity Cafe to GMK Cafe, colors are different. It is a different way of making that color, right? It's
Mhm.
a no, why I keep thinking dual shot, a double shot process versus die sub. So it's not going to be perfect. But I don't really want someone to go, let's run GMK, then let's also run Infinity in the same colorway. I kind of want I want them to stay separate. You know, I wasn't and I tell Lang this to his face. I wasn't the biggest fan of Cafe running in a different in Infinity. You know, it's like because it's dueling, right? If he wants to run it in SA, if he wants to run it in Cat, that's kind of fine by me because that now is a very different set. But you're running the same set, essentially the exact same set, but slightly differently. And I guess oh, it is PBT, but like I don't know. It was something when I kind of heard about it, I was like, like that. I don't. I already have it, so I guess the argument of, well, let's try and get as many people this set in hand as possible. That's great and all, but I don't think we don't need to start seeing with Infinity that opens up the doors for new things, right? I don't want to see the same things just run in Infinity.
Yeah. Well, and I think I don't know. It's interesting because I agree with you there about that because I think that the market that Infinity and GMK appeal to is kind of the same market. It's not the same thing to me, at least. It's not the same thing as like the Novel Keys Vaporwave set, which was like $40 or like $50. Like that's a completely different market than GMK or even Infinity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the 20-30 bucks between Infinity and GMK is much closer than the $50 to $130 for uh the novel keys, PBT Vaporwave versus GMK Vaporwave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I totally agree with that. It's like keep it separate. Keep it
Yeah.
separate.
The only ones that I don't want separate is I want, and I've kind of done this already. And if once Infinity gets it together, and I think this one would be a little bit easier to do. And TKC, if you're listening, in stock, white on black, black on white.
Didn't they have? I thought they had that for a while.
They did, but they haven't had any. And I want to say that was ABS, but maybe I could be wrong on that part. But I want to see white on black and black on white in stock. I think if once Affinity gets their issues out, and once again, you're not having to worry about color matching. Just make it black and white. like like if you get your space bars aligned and all that stuff, I want to see in stock black on white and white on black because with Infinity, if you can get that set, to be a pretty damn good base kit that will help with 90% of things of boards. Sorry, DD Decline, your 40s kit was probably going to be left out of this one, but um, I would love to see that to where when you go, hey, I want to build a keyboard, I can go, hey, Infinity's good. They've got this base kit. It doesn't matter what keyboard you build unless you're insane and want to go for a 40s kit right away. So stop listening to DD Decline and get a TKL. I'm kidding. But get these if you want to get a board that you have the set now where it's like it's white, it's going to match. It doesn't matter what color the case is, it's white, it will match. um and it would be great to point someone to that and go, you can buy this right now, it's perfect, it's a solid set, it's just as good as these other sets, and it's in stock.
Yeah. Well, the other benefit there is that it gives them an opportunity to, because they would be regularly ordering that from Infinity. It allows them to basically use that as time to take a look at their production and make revisions to those like kind of silently, right? So then that way, whenever the next big kit ships, that they sold a bunch of, it's fixed, right? The issues of having an in key that is the wrong row profile or having space bars that are horizontally warped. Those issues can get ironed out on that lesser expensive black on white, white on black, and you can, keep running it over and over again. Um,
Mm.
I think that'd be a good opportunity because, like what Gnarly Charlie for you said, Novel Keys is already doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of, in a lot of ways, for a lot of things in the community, they are somewhat of a trendsetter.
Yep.
And so we'll see if I
We'll
hope
see.
Infinity does that.
Yeah, I hope Infinity does that. I want TKC. I want TKC to succeed. I do. I want them to mistakes are going to happen, but I want them to do. I want them to do well because we're not going to. If it would be a very bad thing for that, TKC's not failing anytime soon, but it would be very bad for the community if a vendor failed. Right? It would be terrible. They're not
TK
going to, but like I'm not like oh, I can't wait for the email where TK sees us, we're closing up shop. I felt genuinely bad that One Up Keyboards had to shut down for so long because of the quarantine. And One Up Keyboards is great, but they got slowed down so much, and I feel like they missed out on a lot this year because of that. So I want vendors to be successful.
TKC's like the super smart, like really intelligent kid in high school that doesn't do any of his homework and then like still gets like
Straight
an
A's.
80, like a 88 on the test, right? Like just does enough to where they're like a high C student because they do nothing except for the test. But you're really smart. You do really good work when you apply yourself. Because
Yep.
they do great stuff, and they've tried to do so many things for the community, and they've been really successful at it, and they have really great people that are running their company. Um, and they have a lot of like backing, like they have a lot of support from the community. But it's like one of those things, like we said before, a couple weeks back, of like just take a step back and figure it out, right, before you start trying to
Also,
spread wider and
TKC
wider.
TKC, I would really like my Godspeed 75 soon. Like that, it'd be really cool if you ship that out to me soon.
True, true. I'm
Something
sure.
about Godspeed and Chewy where I don't get it in the mail. It's like a thing because I don't have SA Godspeed. So drop. I know you're not listening. Drop, but drop. For the love of God, send me my SA Godspeed. It is in your warehouse. I know it is because Lang's had it for months. All right. I don't have my SA Godspeed, and I just want you to send it to me.
I completely forgot that you bought that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Come on, drop. Like, Lang's been living the dream. People have already flipped it after using. No, sorry, not even flipped it. Bought it, used it, didn't like it, sold it. There's a difference. I drop. Come on, man. Just give me my key set. Like it'll take 5 minutes. All right. You click my last name, which I won't reveal on stream. You click my last name, and you hit print. You take the bag and you put it in the bag. You slap it on and you put it in the box where the mail guys come and pick it up. 5 minutes. Mix yours up with one in a box, probably. That's honestly probably what happened. Let's be real.
They're just like they're having like specifically your set remade by
And they're
Signature Plastics.
we got 99.9% of sets sold out, but one kit got messed up, and it's this asshole named Chewy out in Texas. We just figured we'd scapegoat him.
Dude, also like back to what we started with when you're talking about the Dr. Pepper ad, like SPSA's Signature Plastics website used to be called Pimp My Keyboard, and now it's just PMK.
Yep. Punk. Punk. Yeah, we are still waiting. So TKC also, if you're listening, Pastel Rainbow hasn't shipped us, and we'd really appreciate it. Wait, it's not pimpmykeyboard. I mean, I'm sure they still own that domain. Yeah, it's still pimpmykeyboard.com.
But it's not stylized on their website the way it used to be. It used to say on the website like the logo was Pimp My Keyboard.
You know, this, but I don't know if this is a current website or. No, I'm just gonna Google PMK.
I could have
No,
sworn last time I looked, it was listed as PMK. It still says put my keyboard on. I'm totally wrong.
Well, there it is. So, but all in all, takeaways from this: GMK will fix it. They'll get it done. So don't panic if you're new. If this is your first set. Metaverse was like the first set from GMK. Don't panic. Um, use it, and just know like it'll come. It'll come to you. GMK sets don't take a whole lot of time for them to ship it out to you and get it fixed. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Um, they just have to you just have to wait for numbers now, right? Because Metaverse sold over 1,000 kits. So, you know, he's got to he's not going to order a bunch of extra fixed kits just cuz. He's only going to order he might order a handful more to ensure like shipping issues don't happen. But, if you get it and you want it, you have to email. I imagine from the email you ordered it from, you have to email them going, hey, I need this fixed because, and you need to, or I don't know if it's an email. Just check with Switchmod on his Discord, on his website. I'm sure there's a way to do it. We can look that up for you and have it up for you next week of how to get that fixed. But the fixed kits will happen, but you also have, it will not happen for you. You have to go physically type something in and be like, hey, I want the fixed kit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
And it will get fixed. And yeah. Wasn't there something else that someone talked about? Someone said that earlier that we were going to talk about? Remember?
I don't remember. Someone was talking about JTK. I don't have any personal experience with JTK outside of typing on Osiris's.
The thing about JTK is that they were making strides to get better as a keycap set. Like they were in a similar spot to a lot of the key sets profiles that we've been talking about, and as well as like Cat and stuff, where started out a little bit rough. They had some weird things going on, and then they started to fix it, and then they just fell off. Like they were just non-existent in the community for a while, and then um, now they started to get back into things last year. I think it was with the JTK Voss talk or whatever. I can't remember
yeah,
the
Boss Talk. Yeah.
um and then we haven't really seen a ton from them. And
What
the
Pylon said? If what Pylon, I'm not calling Pylon 7 a liar. This hasn't been confirmed to me. But JTK got screwed by COVID. Engineer quit. Plastic supplier went under due to COVID. Very likely, right?
probably
That's probably exactly what happened. I know we talked about this a long time ago, but like PVD suppliers, right? A lot of the PVD suppliers went under and became issues with PVD on keyboards because the PVD suppliers were people who were doing like, handbags and other items to make, for accessories and stuff. And when those companies stopped ordering things, those companies ran out of money. And so, a lot of boards lost their PVD suppliers because a lot of companies went under. So Ziploc currently number one for trays, my guy.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean JTK trays are great, but yeah, it stinks because JTK I think had the best actual threat towards GMK, but now it's kind of a
Yeah.
moot point.
Yeah. I mean hopefully they come back. I know I'm reading what Pylon 7 for his source. And yeah, I mean, I think it's JTK was in a cool spot and they were going to be uh they were looking like they were going to come back and start being a force in the community. But obviously COVID hit them really hard, hit a lot of companies really hard, a lot of board manufacturers um, had to stop producing boards. Like legally, they had to only produce things for,
Mhm.
face coverings or like machines that help make face coverings and stuff at the peak of COVID. So yeah, COVID
Yeah,
has been an interesting time. 2020 has been an unprecedented year for
yeah, it's
the
been
world.
different. So, but that'll kind of wrap before we move on to the main event for tonight, the main event of the next 4 weeks. A quick, we won't give too much away as we have got to iron out the details, but we have a very special December 23rd stream for the holidays. Those of you who observe certain December holidays, it is obviously right there in the week of. So, December 23rd, we'll be having a couple of very special guests and very good friends. So, just go ahead and mark it if you're out of town or whatever, maybe catch it for a few minutes. We're going to be giving away a lot of things and just having a really chill night. I imagine you're probably off on Christmas Eve. I will have been and will
You're
continue to
aren't
be
you
off
you're off like next
the
Friday,
19th.
right?
Yeah, I'm off a week from this Friday. So, um, iron out the details. I can confirm that it is not an Iron 180 giveaway. So sorry to disappoint. But we're giving away a lot of cool things. It's just going to be a fun little time with some people that we are very close with, and we'll try and have a formal announcement next week to kind of to build some hype because it'll be a fun time. So
Iron
this is an Iron
179 then. Yeah, it's no, it'll be a fun time. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna hang out, talk keyboards, talk life, talk year in review as we
we might do that. We might have either a small year in review or maybe we just move it because typically we did that last year on the last one, which would be the 29th, but maybe we just do that a week early and just hope nothing comes out.
yeah, I mean,
A tiny week, right?
ooh. And maybe I think ICs would come out. I wouldn't expect anyone to be like, you know what's a great day for me to start a group by December 28th. So
Confirmed the Iron full size and the Iron 75% both
yeah,
coming
right.
out. So
Key Colt's gonna do a raffle every day that week.
yeah, exactly. None of these
Which
things are true, by the way.
also Key Colt raffle today, number 265. Anyone in chat did y'all enter? I know there was some quite a few people that were looking to enter, as well as some people
uh,
who are maybe into other hobbies that are
yeah,
thinking that they can that are hoping to come in and purchase some boards for low money and sell
streaking
high.
streaking bison. Yes, that's the attitude.
There
Ready
you
for the
go.
L. Now you're talking like a sneakerhead, and that's what I like to see.
Yeah, dude.
Expect your L's, be thankful for your dubs. Like that's that's all you can do, right? Entered, ready to lose. That's how you, honestly, that's how you got to enter, right? Just whatever. Sure, I'll do this. And then if you get that email, you're like, "What? I won, and I'm a bajillion dollars poorer." But at the best part about owning a key Colt is it's not losing value.
True. Well, I mean that's like most keyboard
Yeah, that's
things.
a lot of keyboard things, but
Um,
especially with key Colt, your value is at minimum a 100% increase of what the
yeah.
price is if you are into that. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have the money for it right now. Saving up to purchase a vehicle. Um, and but yeah, I mean, I love as King Friday 7th says, I also love the number 2 design. I think it looks great. Looking at the pictures that they have on the website, it looks fantastic. So, good luck to everyone who entered. I hope that at least one of you gets it. And did they say how many they're doing? I didn't
I
see that.
forgot. I think I read it at some point.
Chat. How many did they have?
Let's see.
Because they're making them. That's the other piece that I'm like, man, I wish I could
It's
get one because they are making it. About 100.
about 100. Yeah, that seems about right. And I'm gonna go ahead and assume at minimum 5,000 people.
Oh yeah. The
So
Discord ballooned up to like almost 6,000 people last night. So it's
yeah,
probably even bigger than that this morning
yeah.
for the raffle. But
So,
yeah.
but props, Key Colt. Congrats. I'm excited. Hopefully everything goes well on that end. I know you guys have been working towards that for a long time. They're obviously great friends of the channel. I love my Key Colt. I think most people. It's not just a brand name. They do a very very good job. The keyboard that I have it's apparently flawed, but bullshit. That tiny ass little mark Nah, it's not flawed. It's a flawless keyboard. It's fantastic. So or waiting for Kiko to drop an ergo style board, then I'll start joining those raffles and losing constantly. There it is.
Dude, that's the mindset you need to have when you go into a raffle. Not just a key cult, just in general. Like, have the hope that you'll get it, but not the expectation that you'll get it.
Don't bank your happiness on getting it.
Yeah.
So
Because then you
I
end
was
up
actually surprised with the fact that I got Analog Dreams. It was kind of crazy because I found out about it like literally 2 hours before, and my wife has been looking for a new set to put on the Bower, and I kind of pulled it up and I was like, hey, I think you, because Violet on Cream was also going to launch at the same time. And I was like, well, which one do I want to go for? Which one do you want to go for? Because if I'm lucky, I'll get one of them. And I was fortunate enough. I mean, I was there. Keeb Noob helped. We had lots of alarms set. We were all hanging out in Discord that time. And it was just like, go, 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 go. And I got in there. I got fortunate enough to pick up one. So, but like the amount of people that were like, yeah, I was there like 1 minute late and they were all sold out. And I was like, got 'em.
got it. Yeah. I was worried about that. Honestly, I was worried of because we ordered a whole bunch of some for both of us to get and try the glorious pandas. I was worried that they were going to run out too. I was like, I got to make sure I'm there right when it starts so that way I can get one because I know they had the like bundles that they were doing.
But we
Um,
don't need a GMK board.
yeah, give her your Ursa, dude. Ursa, Nathan Alpha Man, you're a beautiful man, by the way, and Ursa is also beautiful, but not as beautiful or handsome as you.
Ooh, ooh. I'm loving these feels. If you haven't seen our most recent Instagram post, that set just looks so good. It looks fantastic. I like it's. I've put it away for a little bit because I don't want to shine it up too much because shine is just the worst thing that you could ever have. I'm totally kidding. No, Ursa looks fantastic. Whenever extras go, like get if you can find Ursa, get it because I think it's a fantastic set. I think it's kind of a slept on set. And I think people are going to be when we can actually go see keyboards, people are going to be like, "Fuck, that looks good."
I wonder how the market of keycap sets and keyboards will be affected by meetups happening hopefully at some point in 2021.
Ooh, that's a good. All right, well, our topic next week. How will breaking out of the pandemic change the hobby? Tune in next Tuesday.
Dude, because there's so many sets that are like, you see it online, you're like, that looks okay. And then you see it in
Sorry,
person, you're like,
like
okay, that's like way
Striker,
better.
Bento,
Striker,
like
Bento,
poster
Pomone,
children.
like,
Yeah, poster children of sets that look terrible in pictures but amazing in person.
dude,
Stadium meetups. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
dude,
go.
you have
So
to like, you have to like sign up on a sign up sheet. It's like when you go to like Disney World and you have to sign up for your fast passes. It's like you have to sign up for a fast pass to like visit a keyboard.
there you go. Or ready for this? Raffles just for the tickets to get into KeyCon.
Dude, there you go.
Take your L on KeyCon. No, we'll talk about that next week. I'm gonna write that down right now. But it's a special time. We've had this this has been going on since June. We decided we actually no. Technically, Keyboard of the Week started a much longer time ago, in an earlier, more simple time. And the year was 2019, and there was when we started this, there was not 800 GMK sets running around, but we started Keyboard of the Week. It went away. It came back when we kind of realized, like, oh, and it became more fun. Gonna show your immunization card. There it is. I like the Energy Starstone. But this Keyboard of the Week kind of became I remember the stream, it just kind of became a thing randomly. We were just like talking like, oh, it'd be cool to do. And it really helped. I think it really helped grow our Tuesday streams, and it really helped kind of get it came at the right time where we were kind of looking for something to do, right? We were looking for something a way. We were always finding new ways to expand our content and get excited about it. And we've been looking forward to December for a long time. Last week we posted 23 or 24 pictures of 24 entries of the keyboards of the week. Nasty Naders, thank you for the prime sub.
That's a
The
good name.
people, that is a good name. The people voted. We have our top 16. I posted our top 16 on Sunday. Made the announcement with people. We had open voting on the Discord. We've got our top 16. So we're going to be doing the votes live of the Sweet 16.
Absolutely. So as Chewy gets set up for the first poll, uh, yeah, the way this is going to work, we're going to have polls for each matchup. It is fully seeded by the votes that you put in through our Discord last week. And we've got some interesting matchups today. It's going to go down to 8 today, and then next week, down to 4, then 4 to 2, and then championship. So, yeah. And we are giving away to the winner. The winner gets I'll go second place to first place, right? Build some hype.
Yep.
So second place gets a free Zap cable. It's a free custom cable. So there are some limitations to that. No LEMO connectors, but you can get a detachable cable. You have a whole bunch of options there with that. And then the winner gets a free set in 2021 from the man, the myth, the beast, Dixie. So you get a free base kit from Dixie Mech. So yeah, pretty cool. So those 16 keyboards have already been selected. So keep that in mind, because next year we're going to start this whole thing all over again, and we're going to have a hell of a lot more entries, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot more prizes. So
Yeah, it'll be a fun time next year for sure. So we're going to be doing 2-minute polls. We usually do 3 minutes, but since we'll start doing 3-minute polls next week, but we do have 8 different votes we have to go through this week. So starting off, I can't see the screen, but we are going to be starting with the number 1 seed versus the number 16 seed. Can we see I was about to say umbrella, Cinderella, an umbrella story, a Cinderella story of the Prime Elise. The poll has started now, 2 minutes on the clock. Go ahead, get your votes. It's going to be at the top of chat. If you're looking on your phone, you can't see chat, double tap the screen. It'll be on there at the top of chat. If you can't see the poll, just refresh it. It'll be there. You've got 2 minutes while we fill time talking about these 2 keyboards.
yeah, I mean, I forgot to put the keycap set for the Prime Elise, but so obviously Wazowski 2319, a board inspired by the wonderful movie Monsters Inc. Yeah, looks great. It's very interesting, very funny, very colorful. And then we have a Prime Elise with Tex 88 caps. And yeah, I must say it looks fantastic as well with a P3D 3D printed case on there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we left the names of the people. People are more than happy to. You're more than welcome to post if this is your board, but we left the names out. We don't want any you're judging off of the pictures. You're judging off of the caps, the boards themselves. We don't want any. I'm sure there are some people here that are here voting for their friends. We physically can't stop that, but it's the picture, right? It's a cool little picture. We all love looking at Instagram and on Reddit of the cool pictures of boards. So that's what this is about. But very happy to see both these boards. A lot of these boards, you guys submitted so many boards this year. Next year we'll keep a tally of how many. We really appreciate it, guys. We had weeks where we had so many that I remember looking. We're going to be here until fucking 10:30. So great turnout. Thank you guys very much for posting all your pictures. And I appreciate as we wrap up here the Wazowski grab victory at 16-11. So congratulations to the Wazowski 2319 moving in, kind of unexpected as a 1 seed versus a 16 seed. You're not gonna see a huge upset. I've got my picks mentally. I don't want to
Do
reveal
you?
them. What I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Next year,
I'm gonna make my picks like on a sheet of paper. I do have my picks like mentally, like I said. I just don't have them written down, so I can't be like, oh, I did pick this one. So,
next
but
year we need to do a bracket
a
for,
bracket challenge.
yeah, like all the people who didn't get a chance to enter, didn't get, they didn't get picked to get into the seeded tournament. So they have an opportunity to win, like obviously like how Mech Madness does it. I think that would be a cool way to get everyone in chat to be able to get involved in it.
Yeah,
Not just in voting. But yeah, no surprise there. The Wazowski 2319 was a dark horse, even when it was picked to be keyboard of the week. I remember that was like one of the first weeks, Chewy, that you won after we started keyboard of the week.
yeah. I didn't win for like 2 months. I don't think I won until like September. So it was, and then I won like all of November.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, you got like you are on a hot streak.
I got a hot streak late. But next up, congratulations to the Wazowski 2319 Primalese. Very nice. Congratulations. You made it into the top 16. That's nothing to be ashamed of. The people voted, right? This is, we picked these boards, but then the people voted for them to be in the top 16. So, and so now we've got the Key 65 with GMK Delta versus the Austin with GMK Cafe. I'll go ahead and start the poll. So start the voting. Round 2 is going. How do you vote? It is at the top of chat. If you are on your phone, double tap the screen. It'll be on chat at the top. If the vote is not popping up, just refresh. That's probably the first or second of many times I'll say that. This is a tight one because this is the 8 versus 9, right? And these are both fantastic boards. They're both fantastic sets. This is a tough one. This is the one where I know what I picked, but this was the one where it was the hardest. It was like, this is the Rama, the M60 versus like the Bauer or something, where it's like these very highly loved ones.
Yeah, I mean this is one that is very difficult to pick. You've got Cafe looks fantastic with the white Austin, but honestly, for me personally, I feel like I have to go. I'd have to go with the Key 65. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. I don't know if we're supposed to put in our bias, but I just still can't get over how well the like teal of Delta matches with the Fox Lab logo there. Um, it's insane how perfectly that matches. Yeah, not to mention the fact that Delta was like a super slept on set last year.
It had to be bought out to MOQ. So yeah, it's both these boards are fantastic. They both photographed really, really well. I love the kind of sun and moon, like there's lots of different colors there with the Austin board. I think I like the Austin more, but part of that is like I'm just not a fan of 65%, but it is hard to not notice how well that matches those blues match. So the Key 65 was kind of a slept on board too.
Yes, DD Klein said.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's there. So it looks like our vote is up, and in a tight race, the Key 65 with our first upset of the night. Although it's hard to say an 8 versus 9 is an upset.
It's the toss up.
It's a toss up, but 14-12, very close. The votes were very close. So congratulations to the Key 65 with GMK Delta as you move into the next round. Austin, congratulations on making it to the top 16.
Yeah,
I feel like we're on Mech Madness again.
I know, right? Soon, right? It's coming up. It's coming up soon. Next up, huh?
I'm just repeating what you said.
Next up, we have a interesting one. Probably, I think one of my single favorite pictures in the entire tournament, like from a picture standpoint, and then one of my favorite like overall just matchy, full on aesthetic. So Chewy's getting the pull together. But this next one will be the LZ Physics is the 5 seed wearing GMK DMG, and then the 12 seed, the Fiel, wearing GMK 9s, which is one of my favorite sets.
Yeah. Votes up. So top of chat. Make sure you check it. Yeah. This is tough because this is like the battle of the angled like photographs. So we've talked to you before about, are you taking a snapshot? Are you taking a photograph? These are photographs. These are great shots.
These are
Another,
both very good shots.
yeah. And the Fiel's a beloved board, right? If you're not a fan of the ergo boards, like it might be, the physics could have some trouble. It's close right now. The physics is winning right now. I think nines look so damn good on a black.
Yeah, it does. It looks so good. It looks so clean. Just like the overall aesthetic of the picture, everything matches well. Um, it looks so good. And but I don't know, I just can't get over the fact that the physics, it just everything is together. He's even got the old school Game Boy. And one thing that I didn't even notice until like just now is that he's got the LEDs of the actual PCB on in that same like
Battery on.
that same like color as the accent keys, that like magenta color. Not magenta, that's not the right color. The like purplish red
The plummy.
plum, yeah.
This is tough, man. It's close. It's 15-13 for the Fiel. The physics was leading for a while, then took a huge lead. The Fiel took a huge lead, and then now it's close. We could see another upset.
This
But
one was my pick for like a possible big upset.
yeah, like this because the pictures, right? The pictures are fantastic. They're expertly done. And there it is, just out of reach, the Fiel with nines as potentially the biggest upset at this point, up until now. So congratulations to the Fiel with nines. Always get at least one 5 to 12 ups. Yeah, absolutely. It's tough being the fives, and a lot of these boards are really, really liked, right? So these are it's not like basketball where it's like, well, this team's clearly better than this team. These are any of these. It's hard to call them upsets when they're both just going to be fantastic boards. In fact, fantastic looking boards. So get this next one set up.
I'm excited for COVID to be over so I can actually try a physics, because
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to try a physics. Tried a Fiel, but not a physics. Also, this one looks great because of the carbon fiber, which I'm always interested to try more carbon fiber. But next up, as Chewy finishes it up, we have a Praxis with GMK Wasabi is the 4 seed going up against the surprisingly 13 seed, the keyboard of the year in Mech Madness in 2020, the Satisfaction 75 with GMK Waves.
Yeah.
So very green, lots of green.
Well, this was the upset that I picked.
Yeah.
Because it can go either way, right? It depends on if you like the set. You've got a very hype board and a very hype set. You've got a very one of the cleaner. It's like the two themed boards, right? And I'm kind of cool. It's kind of cool that they went off against each other. The wrist rest does add a lot, so this is fantastic. This board is the board on the left is a good friend of ours. So I hope to be able to see one of these in person, if not both of them in person. But these are fantastic boards, and I love the theming. I love when I see a board that does a really good job with the theme.
Chewy, I don't know if you're looking at
Yeah,
the votes right now. You are
my
getting
upset is
yeah. I am
probably,
so surprised. So surprised that Satisfaction is not just like running away with it. I
but
feel like
maybe people don't want the Satisfaction to win. They wanna see something new.
yeah, maybe people just don't like waves. I think that's like
It could
another
be
thing.
waves. Maybe DD just brought out. Well, I just said his name, so what rip.
It's the
But
Bongo Cat, you know, the
I will say
Underglow.
the Wasabi, in my opinion, does have the better green. But Yeah. This is going to be one of the biggest blowouts.
All that sat salt. Yeah, it's still people upset that they didn't get the satisfaction 75 round two.
It's a really cool board. I haven't gotten the chance to personally mess with it, but I built one. I've seen, I've held an unbuilt one
You
and
did.
went neat, and then delivered it to Osiris. But yeah, I don't see a massive comeback. Although the numbers did close in votes. Um, but I would have, color me surprised. I didn't see either of these boards making it past the next round. But the Praxis with Wasabi, congratulations. You have
No,
moved on. That concludes the top half of the bracket.
no upsets here.
No upsets on this one. As I get the next one ready.
While he's doing that, I'll present the matchup. This one is interesting. It's a board that I guess technically still doesn't exist yet, and a board that is very old. So we have a Type K prototype with GMK white on black, and then a Mindset M1002. It's the monochrome battle, as Keep Noob says in chat. It's the 11U spacebar. I don't know exactly how big is that. 1, 2, 3,
I
5,
think it was
6, 7,
9.
8. Yeah, 9U spacebar versus the split spacebars.
Yeah.
Do you
So
want
vote.
the vertical or not?
Yeah, vote is up, guys. Go cast your votes. Uh, Type K looks sick, man. It looks like ridiculously
It
awesome.
it looks aggressive in this picture with the like vents behind it. Like it just looks like it's mean.
It looks like it's made to be a background to a computer. Like that would be a solid background to a computer. But the mindset, sometimes one, I like that layout. I really do like that layout. That I don't care for the space bar, but the right column, I'm not hating the right column.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's like a TKL plus some.
Yeah, with a little extra, a little something extra. Vintage boards have their place, right? I don't have any vintage boards. I have like an Alps style like Korean made board that's kind of fun to use for a little bit, and then it's so loud that I start kind of getting this looks like, are you gonna switch boards soon? Because it's like obnoxious, and it's hard to game with too. It's very difficult to game with these knockoff Alps switches. So, but
Yeah.
relative, I mean, this is closer than I anticipated. But I mean, the mindset, it's a cool board. It's a cool little nifty board.
Yeah. It looks cool. I haven't had a chance. I haven't held or messed with either of these because, well, one of them doesn't exist and one of them's a vintage board that I didn't know existed until I saw this picture. Uh, whenever it won. But yeah, I'm hoping. I would love to see the Type K soon.
Yeah, hope to see that as well. So Type K wins 18-10 in a pretty handy victory. So congratulations to the Type K as we move on to what I believe may be another upset.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. So the number 6 seed is Max. Well, I'm not gonna say whose it is. Never mind. We're not saying that. It's a Lin Whale with GMK Violet on Cream with the full Violet kit. So swapped out for the Violet Alphas, and then our 11 seed is the Reborn 60 with
Look at
GMK
this.
Bingsu.
Boom, boom.
Nick Clicks, thank you for the tier 1 for 2 months. Appreciate it, my dude. Yeah, this is the Battle of Purples. What do you think about
Yeah.
these, Chewy?
I like one, and the other one I'm kind of meh on. I'll be honest. While the whale is a great board, I don't like the purple on purple. I think it. I don't really like violet on cream mono set for whatever reason. That just I have nothing against purple. I know you obviously, according to your background, very much like purple. I don't mind purple that much. But I think the Reborn, it just looks so clean. I'm a sucker for a 60% win keyless. Obviously, I made a fucking board that way. um, so I think, and Bingsu is just, I think Bingsu is one of the best sets to come out in a long time.
The question with this one is, will the hype of Bingsu carry the Reborn 60, which is a board that is kind of underappreciated. Not a lot of people have messed around with one. It wasn't an insanely popular board. Will Bingsu carry it over the hype of the Lin Whale, which is like this mystique in the community? They're hard to get. There's not very many of them, but I agree with you. I'm not a big fan, especially here. I feel like if this was the Palm Whale, it would look incredible.
It would look great, but that's nothing to say about the people who made these decisions because they're not our boards, right? We just judge them, but we don't. We're not looking to buy these. I think, but I mean, honestly, seeing Bingsu in person, it's a cathartic experience.
Dude, Bingsu looks very good in person.
Yeah, it's up there on. I'm sure it will be a highly talked about set in our top of the year.
Oh,
So.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's one of those sets where I think also in the time that it came out, it was like in the middle of everyone being super upset about how colors matched. And there was the big talk about that. And then Bingsu hit, and people were like, this looks exactly how I expected it to. And it looks great.
Yeah.
So
Reborn 60 with the upset as I had anticipated. So congratulations to the Reborn 60. Lin Whale, congrats making it this far. Next up, we have our first keyboard of the week going in this next fight.
yeah. So next up, we have our number 7 seed, the Uni 660 with EPVT Kuroshiro, going up against the Night of Fun, the Night of Relaxation picture, a 10 seed Alf X3 Riova, I think is the full name. Renova.
Yeah.
With GMK Hyperfuse Origins, one of my very first GMK set. A little biased here, but yeah, these both look great.
This is like a tear at your own heart because I know you're a sucker for mono kits, but I also know you're a sucker for Hyperfuse. So
I think
vote is up, by the way, people. Vote is up. Go on chat. Make sure you're voting.
Yeah, I think if the Uni 660 had a brass plate, I feel like I would go with that. But
you are a sucker for brass plates under a polycarb board.
But dude, just like the Alf, it's like such a unique board. While the Uni 660 is also a very unique board, it's also interesting that we have two boards that have a left side function column, which is not normal. So
it's PVD brass. Well, it's not PVD brass in the right color, DD. So
yeah,
it's not. It's got to be the brass.
It's got to be like PVD gold brass or just raw brass. I want to see that gold.
Can't see it, but there it is. Boom. That gold just peeking on in, just saying hello, letting you know it's a brass plate.
But yeah, the Alf is just like a board that, I don't know. It looks great. It's got the purple like inset, which is a really unique thing that they did with that. I haven't seen a lot of boards that had that kind of styling. Like the Square 80 is the most recent one well Square 60 I guess was the most recent one that I've seen that has done something like that. But yeah, what do you think, Chewy?
Sorry, 1 second. So I think, I mean, with these, my favorite part of the Alpha X3 is the purple, right? And it's like this board was made for Hyperfuse. The pictures are both fantastic, but obviously one has a little bit more attention to detail, where the other is a little bit more. The other is a little bit more just kind of, this is the board. So I think the Alpha is the better picture, but as the people have already voted, the Uni 660 is going to be the victor here with Kuroshiro. Kuroshiro looks clean. I do like that they chose just a white background. I think this is just it's a great picture, and it shows off the set really well. So
Absolutely.
congratulations for the Uni 660.
And the first keyboard of the week stays in the competition. And I think we've got a couple more left. Actually, no, we don't. This is the
more.
last.
This is the last one. So obviously I'm a little biased.
You're a little biased here, but this is a E-White Fiel that's very familiar to Mr. Chewart with GMK dots and a crapload of different artisans in a lot of different sculpts and a lot of different colorways. And then a Dolce CR with GMK phosphorus.
I'm like,
Words are hard. What?
Well, apparently phosphorus is not a word, or I'm just spelling it wrong. I'm not saying it, but you get the point. GMK phosphorus. So voting at the top of chat, make sure you go and vote. Yeah, I think
You did in fact spell it wrong, by the way.
I'm sure I did. Yep. But the Dolce CR, it's a great looking board. It looks very clean. I remember seeing the Honeywell themed one a long time ago. And so it's just it's a very, very cool board. But honestly, I think this board looks so great with dots. This layout is really unique. And I think this is a solid I think the Fiel, I'm just speaking as someone just looking at a Fiel that didn't used to own that exact case. Like, it makes me happy that this person turned this board into something much better than the board that I had, in my opinion. So,
yeah. And
yes,
you know what?
RP Morrison, that is my fault because
No. I spelled it wrong in the picture.
well, I also spelled it wrong.
We
I'm sure.
both
Well,
suck at spelling
yeah,
phosphorus.
you know what? We're keep streamers, not spellers. So,
Listen, we like to type on our keyboards, and it doesn't mean that we type perfectly or have perfect grammar. You know,
if you know me, you definitely know I do not have perfect grammar
or type correctly.
or type correctly. I just slam it on in there and just hit enter and hope it works. Type fast, not accurate. Absolutely. So, but
I
this
do
will
neither.
be so next week we'll be doing the Elite 8, if you will, the Super 8. So as the votes here wrap up, like I said, congratulations to all the winners so far. Very hyped for next rounds. The next rounds, it only gets harder and harder to decide, right? And with that, the Fiel with dots winning 18 votes to 10. Congratulations to the Fiel. And the to the Dolce.cr. You have the most unique picture here with the the strange carvings, and hello to Mr. Anubis, who's making his formal hey, pay attention to me look.
He's just staring at me.
He's just staring at you. I love it. So real quick, guys, I want to give a full shout out to our sponsors. You can go to switchmon.net/Mechs on deck for 4% off of your order. And GMK Muted is going to be running next month, so keep an eye on that. Go to mechsondeck.dixiemech.com. Check out GMK 8008 2. If you liked 8008 and you like a little splash of blue, they are running 2 different options this time. So fantastic keycap set. I know Cyrus is a huge fan of it. It looks really, really, really good in person. You might not have been able to see that it looks so good in person, but trust us, it looks good. So, and the best part is you get to see lots of different pictures of real pictures, right? You don't just have to see renders. So be sure to check that out. Project keyboards, you can go to mechsondeck.project.link. Keep an eye out for GMK Stealth, a very, very cool keycap set that is coming out very soon. And then Canon Keys, you can go to canonkeys.com/mechsondeck. Pick up GMK Pink on Navy. They've got PBT Honeywell Bold on right now. They've got lavender linear switches. They've got a lot of different switches up right now. Lavender linear switches. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Wuku?
The OA switch or whatever?
Yes. The OA switch, the mauve linears, lilac linears, all in stock. Keyboard cases. I'm loving to see all the stock Canon Keys. Go check that out.
Also, they're doing a Canon Keys is doing a like mismatched Satisfaction 75 run, I think this week. I saw that the other day on Instagram. Let me figure out exactly what day it is. Um, but they are running some Sat 75s uh, tomorrow at 11 a.m. So they're going to have some mismatched ones. So you get some that are like black on the bottom and purple, or not Sat 75, sorry, Obliterated 75. I just probably made some people in chat super stoked and then very disappointed. I am sorry, not sorry. But
Scuff stream, y'all. We're
uh,
professional.
Obliterated 75s, I apologize, but you can get lavender top with black bottom, a gold top with black bottom. There's a lot of different cool options. So that's happening tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time for the Obliterated 75. So, and they're in stock, so you'd get it pretty quick.
Hell yeah. Well, if you don't like the color combos, but you still like the board, just go get a Cerakote.
Very true. Very true. And then quick shout out to our partners, Zap Cables. Get yourself some of the best cables in the business at zapcables.com. Type Beast, that's typebia.st. Sign up for their newsletter. Great newsletters are coming out from Mr. Starstone over there at Type Beast. And then Smith and Rune, go to smithrune.com. Pick up some merch. They got some cool stuff, and you're going to want to stay updated on their website because that's where they're going to announce whenever they're running more Iron 165s, Iron 180s, whatever else they decide to do next. That it's going to be great. So just stay up to date on what's happening over at smithrune.com.
Hell yeah. So guys, thank you for voting. Thank you for coming, hanging out with us. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully your board that you entered got through. Congratulations to all of the people that made it to the next round. To the people that did not make it to the next round, you still made it to the top 16. You still have awesome boards. Don't let these votes affect how you think of them. I love the fact that we have so many, right? There's so many good ones. It's hard to pick just one. So thank you guys again for the votes and everything. We could not do stuff like this without y'all. So it's a lot. We kind of didn't do Keyboard of the Week for a long time as we were continuing to grow our channel. And once our channel grew to a spot where we could comfortably do it, it became a lot more fun. So thank you.
Absolutely. And then come hang out with us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central. We're going to have Mr. Ryan Norbauer joining us, talking about everything he does with Norbauer. Talking about, oh man, it's the heavy
Grail.
Heavy Grail. Heavy Grail's running right now, so pretty freaking cool. It's the first time they've had an HHKB case offered over at Norbauer, so he's a really, really cool and really, really smart guy. He makes fantastic products to like some of the highest level in the community. But yeah, I'm excited to talk to him tomorrow.
Oh yeah. I just realized I had the wrong picture profile on the entire stream.
It's okay. You're good.
So yeah, it was just funny because I was like, I feel like I'm dark this whole time. I feel like I'm a little soft. Like, and then I was like, I don't think the picture profile is on there correctly. But anyway, that's a personal thing that's just gonna drive me crazy as I look at it on the YouTube videos. So so I actually, instead of doing what we usually do, I want to throw it to I am me, you are you, because we have not rated him in a while. He's a very good friend of ours. And thank you guys again. So are you getting the raid set up?
I'm going. It's on. It's up.
It's going. It's on. I am you are you has actually got TSC on with him right now. So that's very cool to see that.
Awesome.
So very nice. I am you are you has got a very, very awesome stream on. And he's a very good personal friend of both of ours. So glad that anytime we get a chance to hang out with him, it's always a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, come hang out with us tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central, and then Saturday at 2 p.m. Central. We'll see y'all tomorrow. What do you say, Chewy?
Buy a Switch tester.